Good morning, it's Jonathan Barrett with the morning debrief. It's currently the 28th of October and the current time is 7:30. A good night last night, strong night across the boards for equity markets, commodities, currency, all on the back of the plan that's been put in place by Europe. This is the keystone that a lot of people have been wanting for, from which they can then make more decisions down the track. The market's looking at this keystone as very important, and as a result of that, we've seen massive moves across the board. I guess the key elements are there. You know, the banks have agreed to a 50% haircut on their debt. They've agreed to recapitalisation, and there's looking for an external fund. Increase the size of the fund to about €1 trillion. All told, I think that's an outcome, although we do feel that perhaps there's more that's needed. But this is the first real keystone that we can actually put in place to help that recovery. As a result of that, we've seen bargain hunters come into the market looking for the suggestion that this is probably the low of all lows for some time, and as a result of that, good strong gains have been made. Let's just have a look at how the markets closed. As you can see, the Dow was up 2.86%. The S&P was up 3.43%. The Nasdaq was up 3.32%. Over in Europe, the top 50 was up 6%. The FTSE was up 2.8%. The CAC was up 6.28%. The DAX was up 5.35%. More closer to home, we had a reasonably strong night last night. But not as much as I think around the world. We did get a strong night. It was up 59 points, 4,417. So if anything there, that it looks quite positive. What we did also see was, obviously a weak US dollar, and as a result of that, a lot of other commodities traded very well indeed. An argument is that should commodities be this high to represent where the market should be, and they represent proper supply and demand? Well, at the moment you've got to set that aside, because while we've got this euphoric buying, it remains very positive. Euphoria sweeps the market, so will it last a couple of days? Probably will. Okay, crude was up 2.85%, West Texas was up 4%. Remember, leading that way in that spread, the spread between the two, as we've mentioned quite a few times, we feel that spread is actually coming in. It's around about 18 at the moment, and probably expect a further contraction of that spread. Okay, looking across the board, the agriculturals, you can see it's pretty cool. Corn up 2.2%, wheat was up 3.95%, soybeans were up 1.99%. Big strong move in copper, broken through that 360 level we've talked about. It's euphoric buying. Whether the demand will feed through this quickly, I don't know. But and I think it might be also on the back of a Chinese story. But the copper renminbi loans, I think, is taking second seat. Naturally, if copper goes up, then these loans become okay. Righty-ho. Okay, gold, strong night there as you'd expect, 17.45. A bit of chat risk safe haven status for gold. Chucked out the window, obviously, with the weaker US dollar. So let's see, that doesn't, to me, seems probably about right. But perhaps gold should not have moved that far. But anyway, next step, something we talked about, 17.50 in a lot of the chats that we've had, and particularly a lot of the tweets that have come out. Silver up 5.46%, huge move, 35.13. So very strong there. Let's have look at a couple of the charts. There's just looking first of all. Let's look at the dollar index, and throughout this, it's been quite a well. We've had that break up to the top side. Consolidation, we thought, happened. 76 was where we wanted it. Where obviously last night's news was something we didn't really. Well, we knew it would come, but how it would affect the market slightly differently. 75.11, as long as 73.77 stays intact, then we still feel there are changes. How's that affected the Aussie? The Aussie dollar there, 107, strong move, up 3 cents, and currently at resistance at this level here, and 107, 107.10.20, and probably expect some little bit of a pullback from there, right at the top side of the range. Okay, now looking at Euro. Euro was the big mover up through 140 there. You can see that spike, very strong there, and I guess expectations are we're coming into a bit of resistance there at the moment. Looking at gold 1744, there's that movement there, broken back above this trend line which we've been following. This does indicate that moves higher on the cards, so dips would be supported. And we won't get to 2000 this year, but the chances are we've got a good chance of hitting that 1800 level again. Right, now that's looking at those. Let's have a quick look at what's happening in the wheat market. Remember, we are long wheat at the moment, and that's good to see a little bit of bounce. We need to see a break through that 655 level. If that's the case, this trend's in line, and then we head back to the top end, which should be around about 700. So stay close to that one. Crude oil, good strong move. There you can see it, broken through that area. We've been up here before, so we're not breaking to new ground as a result of what's happened. So we're on old turf. The question is whether or not it'll hold and go higher. I would actually like it to come back a little bit. Be guided by a breakthrough 95 on that one. It's very hard with this euphoria as to see whether how far and fast the market will take it. Let's have a quick look at the Dow and then the local market. And there you can see the Dow's hit that trend. Pretty major trend there. Let's see whether or not it holds. And if it breaks through, there's very important areas here. Remember, we have noted that the PE ratios in America are very solid, and they do represent reasonably good buying across the board. So that's pretty positive. Local market here, see what happens, but at the end of the day, it's broken through this area. That was that consolidation we were looking for, we were mixed, but when it took out that 4,300, it's an area we talked about. The correction here could extend up to 45, plus 45, 4,600. Righty-ho, well, that's pretty much about it from me. Pretty much about it, just check that. Yeah, pretty much about it from me. I mean, obviously there are a few opportunities out there. I think the euphoria will stay with us for a little while. As a result of that, you'll probably see equity markets continue to trade higher. This is an important keystone. We've always billed it as a watershed event. Yes, it's occurred, but yes, this is the foundation from which Europe can recover. But that's it from me. Happy trading. We'll talk to you later, and bye for now.